Hi, Coach Sandy here, and today we're going to be doing a little recap and going a little further on our topic of atomic habits. And so if you haven't read the book, it's worth a read. If you don't like to read, this will be your Cliff Notes version. I will be doing a workshop that will be an hour long. It's free. It'll happen on March 25th, and I will drop the invitation to that Zoom call here at the bottom of this video. But I really encourage you to take some thought to your habits. And so just for a quick review, I'll talk to you about the 4 steps of how habits work. So the 4 steps of how a habit works, it's a very simple process to think about, not necessarily a simple process to change. So change isn't always easy, but it is usually worthwhile. So think about this. First of all, you get a cue. So this triggers your brain into thinking about what it wants. It wants to get to the reward. And then you have a craving. And so now you add this desire that you have, and it takes on an emotion. It takes on a feeling. And so that's where our motivation comes from. Motivation doesn't ever really happen without some emotion or some feeling. We want to feel the benefit somehow. And so then the next step is your response. So then this takes on an action. So whatever that action is, maybe this is the example I use, you either choose the carrot or the cookie, the sneakers or the PJs, depending upon if you're working on weight loss or exercise, or maybe that's a combination of both for those things. And then comes the reward. So what is your reward? Your reward is going to be to somehow satisfy that craving. So you've now taught yourself a connection between the cue, the craving, the response, and the reward. I think there was something that I remember a long time ago from school about Pavlov's dog. You might remember that one. So we don't want to be the dog. So think about this now as your areas of focus. So here's the scenario that maybe some of you can relate to. So your phone notifies you that you have a text. You want to know what's going on. You want to be in the know. You don't want to be left behind. Isn't there an acronym for that? I forget what it is. Anyway, so you read the text. So now you satisfied your curiosity, and you have an association, though, with the sound, the need, the curiosity. You took action, you picked up your phone, you read the text, and that was your response. So that was your reward. Whether or not you followed up on the text or not is a whole nother story, but you had a choice. So let's say that you are working on a project and you're learning to manage your time differently. And so your choice is your phone notifies you that you have a text. But you've made an agreement with yourself to check your texts only once an hour, or to turn your phone off and just go and choose to pick it up when you choose to pick it up. You put it in another room. You put it on silent. Whatever your agreement with yourself is, honoring that, you now have stayed focused on the task at hand. How do you feel? You feel satisfied because your productivity level went up, because your distractibility level went down. So that's how you can have your area of focus, and you're working toward the identity that you want to create, not necessarily the one that you've had, which is picking up the phone and being distracted and not being as productive. So you don't want that any longer. So you change the steps, and you have to have that first identity that you really want to be in, that reality that you want to live. So here it is from James Clear himself, and I'll wrap it up at this moment. James Clear says, if a behavior is insufficient in any way, in any place of the 4 stages, it will not become a habit. So if a behavior is insufficient in any of the 4 stages, it will not become a habit. So this is your choice to make to see how you want to proceed with the change. So if you want to build a good habit, you make it obvious, you make it attractive, and you make it easy, and you make it satisfying. So come to the workshop and I'm going to tell you how we're going to implement those steps. So this is Sandy, Coach Sandy, again, inviting you to the workshop on March 25th at noon. It's free. And that will give you a sense of who I am as a coach, how I coach. And I hope that this little video or the last several that I've done have helped you to have some insight. I do work primarily with women. I work one-on-one, but I also have 2 group programs. One group program is called Women Who Wear Many Hats, because not only have we always worn many hats, but I think that in the past few years, more hats have been given to us, not necessarily requested, but we're juggling more. The responsibilities are huge. Women are feeling overwhelmed, and I want to take them from that overwhelmed state into a calmer state, from chaos to calm, and help them feel more confident. So that's what that group is for. And we meet every other week, twice a month. And then I have another membership group that actually another program. It's a 6-week program called Positive Intelligence. And then this one really helps us to dig deep, to understand ourselves, where our strengths are, we call them our sage strengths, or where our stumbling blocks are, and those are our saboteurs. So I invite you to my website at wellness-with-attitude.com, wellnesswithattitude.com. There you can get to know a little bit more about the plans and the pricing, or reach out to me, come to the workshop and reach out to me there. I'll be sharing that with you. So I hope that this has been beneficial to you. I hope that if nothing else, it just triggers up some thoughts for how you want to change some habits, and understanding how the habits are formed and how you can break them, and getting some tips and ideas. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing a few minutes with me, and I hope that you have a great day. Coach Sandy, signing off.